Hi, I'm Tara Wilkin. I am the owner of Courageously Living, and I wanted to do a quick video today about the different types of caregiving, family caregiving. I think we tend to just lump caregiving in as one kind of big thing, and there really is nuisances to how you're doing different family caregiving. And this specific video series and pretty much anything on my website for resources really is dealing with either elderly care or spousal care. Um, Obviously, if you have children, that's a big part of doing caregiving, but that's not really where I have resources for you guys. There's a lot of other like parenting, caregiving kind of stuff, resources out there. I tend to focus on the adult caregiving. And because I've done so much caregiving in my life, I really learned that there are kind of like four distinct categories in caregiving. There's the immediate caregiving that, oh my God, mom just went into the hospital, all hands on deck. And that can be, all caregiving is really stressful, but especially that immediate one, it's throwing you from your normal routine so much that you really kind of need a lot of different resources for immediate caregiving, or maybe, dad fell and broke his leg. So it really is using resources that you need absolutely immediately. And so on my website, for all of these that I'm talking about, I do have more resources at courageouslyliving.net. I'll put the link in the video. But just to kind of get you to start to think about different caregiving types. The next caregiving type that I really talk about is intermittent or occasionally caregiving. I stopped on the way home and got mom groceries. Oh, I had to go over this weekend and fix something at the house, at my parents' house. Oh, my wife needs a little bit of help cooking in the kitchen today. It's that kind of stuff that you don't really think of caregiving, but it can kind of compound over time and really add to your stress level and your feeling of really not getting anything done. And so I found in my own personal life, it was really, really helpful to call out when I was doing occasional caregiving. And then when I would look back at the day and I'd be like, oh, I didn't get all this done on my to-do list. It was like, oh yeah, and I did this, this, and this for my mom. So it really is about acknowledging that that is a very much important part of caregiving. And that can last for years depending on the situation. And giving yourself grace and acknowledging that, yes, you are a caregiver can be a huge help in your life. The next topic of caregiving that I call out is intense or long-term caregiving. And now that is someone who is in hospice, who is maybe really, really sick with cancer or another terminal illness, and they need, or dementia, Alzheimer's are also would be in part of that, and they're going to need way more care. It's potentially even round the clock care. And that is a really intensive time to be a caregiver because your whole world does stop. Like for the intermediate caregiving, you're still kind of doing all of your stuff. And when they move more into an intense situation or a long-term situation, you still might have some of your day-to-day routine, but a lot of it is trying to figure out care for your family member. And probably working at that point with a care team to really help get them the best care possible. And finally, the last topic that I like to call out is life after caregiving. We think, oh, we're done caregiving. We can just pick up right where we left off in our life. And what I found and what I've listened to talking to other people is no, you don't just pick up right where you left off after caregiving, especially for occasional, intermittent, and intense caregiving. Those typically have been years in the making of that caregiving, and it really takes a lot out of you, even if you haven't realized it does. And so acknowledging that you have to kind of rebuild your life almost after caregiving can be a very calming thing for yourself to realize, that it's just not going to just be like a switch. And to give yourself grace and time to refigure out your footing and figure out where you go from here. And so that is the 4 that I really call out. Again, on courageouslyliving.net, I do have additional resources for all 4 of those types of caregiving. And no matter what caregiving you're doing, it's stressful, and you're allowed to acknowledge that it's stressful and probably days that are frustrating. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you are a caregiver, I send you so much love and support. I know how hard of a job caregiving is, in addition to doing everything else in your life too. Thank you for watching, and make sure you give yourself a hug on both sides. You have a public side and a private side, and sometimes just getting through the day doing caregiving is all you can do. And make sure you give yourself a hug. You're deserving of comfort yourself too. Bye for now.